Hello, this is an impromptu session with one of my best friends, and today we're talking about failure. Let's see how it goes.
We're trying to talk about failure, right?
Mhm.
And just like the different ways that and the lessons that people always say you're supposed to learn when you fail, right? There's
Mhm.
that thing of fail fast so you can move on. When it comes to experiences, you've never heard that?
I've heard of that, but there's still times where, honestly speaking, like these things happen over and over again. That
Yeah.
I know some people say that if it keeps happening, then that means you have not learned the lesson you're supposed to learn. But I think it's just life, though. Honestly.
Yeah, I don't know. So I, I believe in that failing fast just because sometimes you learn best from experience. But I,
Mhm.
I, I feel like I disagree a little bit in that saying that if you keep failing, it means you've not learned your lesson. It
Right.
just means
Mhm.
life is messing with you, or
Or life is just life,
life
really.
is just life. Yeah, that one too, Seb day.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't know. I don't know. Like when it has to do with failure,
mhm.
I feel failure is like really broad.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, are you saying, oh, failure as in like, oh, things do not work as expected, or you're pushing or you're doing something and then completely like goes to shit completely, and then like,
I would say in the
okay,
sense that like you're putting in your effort towards a dream and it
mhm.
just doesn't work how you plan is a failure to me. I mean, both ways are right, but I guess we can talk about it one and then the other.
Okay, sure, yeah,
Okay. All
let's
right.
talk.
Let's go about working hard and then just completely going to shit, right?
Okay,
So,
okay.
I
Because
have a
I
first
mean, like, some honestly speaking, like sometimes it's just like, okay, yeah, and then everything just
yeah.
the castle just busts on your
Boss,
head,
yeah,
basically.
yeah. I
Yeah,
have a
so
first-hand experience with that.
right, exactly.
I'm
So
going to talk about 2018, right?
okay.
Was it 2016? I applied for the military leadership course, and it was supposed to go for 16 to 18 months. And yo, like when I say I worked hard, mm,
Mhm.
I worked hard. Like I applied, I got in. It was so exciting, and I think I shared my acceptance letter with you,
Oh
or
yeah,
maybe
we us.
yeah,
Yeah,
like with
yeah, I
you and
remember.
Chama, with everybody. And then like the training was so long and just so draining, like mentally, physically, and everything. But like just the idea of, oh my god, I'm going to actually become this lieutenant. I'm going to be like an officer in charge.
Right.
And like 2 weeks before the end of the program, right? We were supposed to go from my state to a different state to go actually complete the program. And when we got to the new city, which I don't know if I can even mention the name, but like the new place, Sha,
Mhm.
um, was it yeah, the first time we realized that our state had missed a part of the graduation requirements that they didn't tell us about, like the entire 17 months. Nobody told us that we
Mhm.
had to do the water combat challenge.
Mhm.
So I didn't learn how to swim, and most of us didn't. And
I have nothing to say
I know
about that. I have nothing to say about that part. Okay.
oh my god. So like somehow our state had completely missed that part of the graduation requirement. So when we got there on day 5, and they said water combat challenge, we were like, mm-mm, no, that's not right.
Mhm.
um but people like me that didn't know how to swim, I was literally in tears. And it wasn't just like, oh, you swim however many meters or yards you use for water, right? It
Mhm.
was like 5 stages. There was the 3 point there was the 3 feet, there was the 5 feet. I'm 5'5", so like my nose will still be
That's
above.
I don't
So
worry.
I was able to do like the first two
Mhm.
without necessarily dying. And then
Mhm.
the next one was 9 feet, and then 15 feet, and then 30 feet. And then the 30 feet one actually involved you being blindfolded, carrying your rifle, and like the entire time you're wearing your full military uniform, like your boots and everything.
So that is bloody
Literally,
heavy though.
exactly. That's the thing. Like your boots alone, when wet, will like literally pull you down.
No, right.
And like the 9 feet when I was literally like, yep, this is death. I do I have insurance? Yes. Okay, somebody please tell my mother I love her. Like everything was like going through my head, and it's like, you know what? And they were like, okay, just quit. Yeah, that was the option. Was like quit and go home. And I was like, ladies and gentlemen, I did not come all the way, got
Yeah.
on a flight to come here, to come and just like quit just because of water. We die here, like literally, we die. If I die, I die.
Mm-hmm.
And then the 15 feet one, I feel like I was already so shaky that somebody went to go tell the coordinator that this girl literally doesn't know how
Drowning.
to swim. Like the guy was like,
Yeah.
that she does it or she doesn't.
Yeah.
And I jumped into the water, like literally. I was just like flailing around and just like, yeah. So the 30 feet, you also have like you have to dive into the water, and then like before the blind, okay, so they blindfold you, you hold your rifle, and you're supposed to like yell out your name and then jump into the water.
I
I know
said, what
it's a thing.
precisely?
So my dear, the first thing I did as soon as this my weapon was like out of my hands, I removed the thing like, oh God, let me see where I'm going to.
Mm-hmm.
And then I entered, and they were like, okay, now swim today. And I was like, this is where we go down. So
This is basically the end of the
I
matter. Done and
literally was like,
over with.
what you
Yeah.
say?
I said this is the end of the matter. Like
I'm telling
done.
you, I
Like
was like, I
yeah.
did fall. If this is how I died a hero. I died for this country.
Okay.
And like I did that. And then they sent a lifeguard to come pull me out after like they did not find me or whatever. And I did that. And I was like, oh my God, like I can literally do anything I put my mind to. Well, 2 days after the event, like literally everything that my state taught us, like the preparation of like a document and how to brief people, like how to take, literally orders and execute it and things like that. Um, my state really worked hard for everybody to be able to do that. And I was like, okay, this one, I got it. Like I got it, bruh. That I got it was my no-go. And it was just like, are you kidding me? Like, so I couldn't have failed at home. I couldn't have
Right.
failed during phase one. And just like phase one was like 15 days into the program, I could have gone home. Phase two is like the longest part, that's like 15 months. I could have failed any of those months, I could have gone home. Literally. So literally phase three in a different state with people all over the country in here is where am I? I think I need water. Is where I fail.
Right.
Like I remember going back to my room, Dana, and thinking, okay, so like what did I do wrong? And I couldn't figure it out. Like I got on a flight, I go back home, and like I think for like the first 4 days, I didn't like talk to anybody. I was literally just in my room. And I still don't know till today what that was supposed to teach me.
Because life is just life,
Like
honestly.
like it's just like,
Yeah.
okay, I get it. Like, okay, what is that? Like, it literally drove me into depression. I lost my apartment. I lost like my job, and it was just like everything literally just went down south from there because of one failure. Um, and I still look back today like, okay, they say you're supposed to learn something from a failure. I didn't learn anything other than the fact that this thing took away my self-esteem for the longest time.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
I again, I cannot. I'm not a therapist, so I'm not trying to determine what you were supposed to learn from that
Yeah.
experience. But I think also too, it's not only about failing, but
Mm.
learning how to fail
What do you
and
mean
move
learning how to
forward.
fail?
So, like the reality is like you mentioned now, like when you had failed, and I'm sorry, I can't see this as a failure because again,
Mhm.
you are the person that defines what is a failure to you anyway,
Right.
right? But things not working as expected.
Hmm.
How do you learn to pick yourself up and move on? I think that's another thing too, because it's
Yeah.
one thing to fail and then recognizing that okay, this has happened. What's next? Which is
Yeah.
hard to do, obviously, because again, we are human beings and like there's
Hmm.
a million and one things that are going through your head because you're constantly thinking and questioning and asking yourself what exactly was wrong.
Hmm.
But I think it's not just about failing, but also in the midst of failing, learning how to fail forward. I don't know how to explain it. Failing forward, like failing,
But failing for my
recognizing what
dear,
it
when
is.
you fail Yakata, like you fail and you
No,
just fall.
obviously, done and over with. But it's like failing and then how okay. Let me explain it this way. So if I
Re-strategizing.
fail, good, great. Like if you fail and then everything has yakata. So then what next?
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah, but
get.
like I feel like at that point when you fail though, it's
Mm-hmm.
like sometimes it feels like there is no better option, especially if what you feel that is your best option at that time.
At the time, okay, great. It's a good thing that you said at the time, right? I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, there's certain stages in our lives where, like, the goal is that at this particular time, this is what I'm expected to have achieved. Not
Mm-hmm.
this is not a societal thing. This is like a personal goal, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yes, at the time, it looks like that's the best option. But is that
Yeah.
really the best option?
Sometimes at that current time, that might have been
Hmm.
your best option.
Option,
Like,
true,
I mean,
true,
for you to have decided to do that thing, it means you weighed everything else. It
true.
means, you thought about this, you thought about that, and you're like, no, this one looks like
What you need
what
to do
will
at
work
that
or what
stage,
will
yeah.
set me on the part for my next level, my next step in life. And
Mm-hmm.
then that, doesn't work out.
Yeah, yeah. Again, I'm trying not to do the whole for every reason. I mean, for every time there's a reason. I mean, for
There's no
every
reason
reason. It's not
sometimes.
like sometimes, like I honestly speaking, like okay. I will give an example. Like, uh, where you put in effort into maybe let's say even if it's even a relationship, right?
Mhm.
Or some the simplest things, right? And
Yeah.
I'm not a relationship does not necessarily have to even be in a romantic context, right? Like
Hmm.
if it's a friendship, right? You put in your all,
Hmm.
and it just doesn't work out as
Yeah.
expected. Is that a failure? I don't know. Like
Yeah.
I think honestly, like let me be very honest with you. Like me as a person, right? The way I approach failures
Hmm.
is what some people call it as toxic positivity. Because yeah, you
See,
get
that I believe, because
yes.
I know you are one of those. I will now do the inner work, shut up your life at like 7 p.m. so you can process something, something, something.
Yeah,
Just cry and move on.
yeah,
But it's not you. You don't
that's not
easily
me.
cry and well, you cry and then you think and think and think and think and then you move on.
And
That's
overthink
you
it.
though. That's
Yeah, that's
that's
me.
what you
That's
do.
me.
So,
Yeah,
but yeah.
yeah.
So
I
share,
just
share
believe
your
that.
failure experience.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Brag. Here we go. What's the one thing that I know that I really okay? The one time, okay, I'll give an example. I did
Mhm.
like an interview with Amazon. Did I ever tell you that? I didn't know, right?
No. Good thing to
Girl,
expose yourself. Amazon,
girl.
long, long. Okay.
So I did an interview with Amazon last year. I got this email from a recruiter, a LinkedIn recruiter, right?
Mhm.
And like from Amazon, Vancouver. I was like, oh, Gazi, you have hit the jackpot.
Yeah,
Okay.
Ahmad.
Yes, I've arrived. So when I got the email and everything, I prepared like I read the instructions were read the Amazon website from top to bottom,
Yeah.
learn the Bezos principles, our Lord and Savior Bezos. So I did all of that and everything, did like the software aspect of it, preparing and everything.
Mhm.
So I get to this thing, the guy asked me all the normal HR questions like team processing, team collaboration. So they said, okay, normally like for all these software developer positions, right? Usually they'll give you like an assignment and then tell you that take like 2 days or 3 days and then come back with a solution.
Mhm.
But these guys were telling me to do like coding
On
like
the spot.
on the spot. I say, excuse me.
Is that how we used to
Is
do?
that how we do here? So I just said, okay, you know what? Sure, no problem. So they asked me a question now. I was right. This question was easy as easy. Like this is like year one coding question.
Yeah.
And I blanked out. Now at that time in my life, I felt like if I get this Amazon job, this is like a big deal, obviously.
Mhm.
Like working
Mhm.
with the big guys and
Yeah.
everything. And I blanked out. And the only thing that was going on in my head was like, so that means I've actually pretending like I was a software developer. I do not know shit. That
Yeah.
was the only thing that was going on in my head. And then I couldn't do anything. Like I couldn't do anything. I couldn't come with any solution.
Yeah.
So I could even feel that the interviewer was like so frustrated and all the extra stuff. And he was like, okay, so look at it this way. And then it was by the time he now said certain things, and I now like figured out the question. But obviously
Yeah.
that was too late because it's not
So
like I
that
could
yeah.
think on the spot, right?
Mhm.
So I remember how I beat myself up like so many when I was done with the interview. I beat myself up so many. I was like, you know what, let me just take this L and
Yeah.
not talk about it. But at the time, I felt like if I could not do this, then that means going forward, I'll be failing in my career. Yeah. I felt like I was all this while I've just been coasting.
Yeah.
You
Is that
understand
why
what
you
I
told
mean?
me that you
Oh, that I
scam
scam
people?
people. Yeah, absolutely. Because I felt like no, I don't know. I don't. This one is not imposter syndrome. This was not one of those cases. It was those cases where it was like, okay, um, so what have I
Mm,
been doing since?
yeah.
So and what is the next step for me as a software developer if I
Hmm.
couldn't do something this simple?
That easy.
Yeah. So how did I move on from that? Oh God, I beat myself up so many times, and then after beating myself up, I now remember, okay, you know what, you have a day-to-day job, like you need
Mhm.
to focus on
That
that, and
means
then try to
something,
improve
right?
yourself or something
Yeah.
like that. But in that case, it didn't feel like it was an improvement situation. What was the lesson to learn there? Honestly, nothing. It was just
Amazon
like
lost out on an
I just lost an
amazing.
amazing opportunity, but then
No, 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 not you. Amazon lost out
oh, lost.
on
You know
you.
what,
Your brilliance, the
girl?
queen that you are.
Okay, yeah, okay, yeah, yeah, sure. I mean, it's sweet to hear now, but no,
Yeah,
I don't think
it
that's
was
what I
not.
would
Yeah,
have
yeah,
heard. Yeah,
yeah.
then or anything. So, really, sometimes failure or what we classify as failure at the time being, sometimes there are really no lessons, but
Hmm.
sometimes too, though, it also exposes us to the fact that maybe that is not what we are actually supposed to do at the time, depending, again, depending, really dependent. It's not
No.
a binary thing. It's not a black and white situation. Really,
Yeah, yeah,
it's
that's
not.
true.
It's not.
That's true. Yeah. Let's take it to relationship, right? So people say,
Mhm.
okay,
Okay.
maybe we should. Let's bring it back to work.
No, no,
No,
no.
but
Okay, you know
let's
what?
take
Let's
it
do
to.
work and then we'll go back to relationships.
Okay, I don't. Do you have anything else you want to share about work and failure?
No, no. I think that
Yeah, I
was the
think
major
work
thing for
for
me.
me. Another thing would be me losing my job, but that's not a failure or anything that I could have done to.
No,
So
no.
yeah, I'm over it.
Yeah.
But yeah. Um. So as I was saying, so we just go to
Relationships, yeah.
relationship. Okay, yeah. So relationship and failures, right? Some when people get married and it doesn't work,
Mhm.
they always tend to tell, "Oh, the woman failed,"
Mhm.
or "It's the lady's fault," or they didn't put in their best to make it work. What if you're like, why does it feel like a relationship not working is a failure, but always mostly on the part of the female?
No, that one in that context is a societal thing. That one you can't really chalk it up to. I mean, I'm not disputing the fact that there might be there are most likely instances where
Hmm.
in the relationship it was the woman that messed up or it was the man. Whatever it is, this one is a societal thing because it's like religious wise, cultural wise, it's always the woman is supposed to
Keep
carry
the
the
home.
home, keep the
Yeah.
home, which is very funny because if you look at, you know what, let me not talk about the
No, no,
Bible
I want to
again.
hear it. I want to
No,
hear it.
because if we look at the scripture, like, who is the head? Well, I mean, who is supposed to be the head of the home? It's not supposed to
So
be.
the man is the head. He should be
Yeah, he's the head
carrying.
of the home. And then, well, I mean, look at that. Okay, the man is the head of the home. Like if you bring it now to like the Nigerian context, right? The man
Yeah.
is the head of the woman is the neck, and the neck directs the man. I'm like, please,
Please.
is the man the head or is the woman the like who is the head of the home now? The woman or the man? Like
Oh,
let's
the man.
can we focus on one place? But
Yeah.
it's just the way that we have been groomed right from when we were small that you as you're getting married, even when during the wedding ceremony, you
Mhm.
hear the preacher say, "Woman, don't let your husband go to bed angry at you."
Yeah.
Yeah, you're supposed to. Yeah, and okay, let's give an example. If he's unfaithful, I'm talking about. I'm not saying this
Yeah.
is in a scenario when he's unfaithful.
Hmm.
Pray him back
Back.
to your home. Um, Another one is even if he goes out somewhat outside and messes around, as long as he comes back home. Okay.
I actually we both know someone who she's younger. She's actually younger than we are. Yep.
Mhm.
And when I think we were like 21, I think she was like 17 or 18 at the time.
Mhm.
And she was literally talking about how, oh, all she needs is a husband to come home at night and he has to eat her food. And I was like, wow, that's the only requirement. She was like, yeah, because all men cheat, and then like she wants to live a good life, so he has to like come home every night and show up when he has to. So like Christmas, like on festive and all occasions or
Oh,
things
all
like
them
that. So
Thanksgiving and stuff.
he has to show up, but like yeah, sorry,
Okay.
go on.
Okay,
What did you
I
say?
mean, I said, I mean, I had nothing to say,
Yeah.
honestly. Okay. Anyway,
This is not
it's just,
older.
it's
She's like
saddening.
literally younger than we are too.
It, it's a societal conditioning. And it takes a lot for us to unlearn. And I'm talking about even for men and for
Hmm.
women, right? It takes a lot for us to unlearn some of the harmful um ideologies that we have taken in. It's just the reality. There's so
Yeah.
many things that it when it when I would say in that time it
Hmm.
operated and it worked fine for them. But in this day and age, with the way life is,
Yes.
there's
Yeah.
some things that are still supposed to be like
Hmm.
respect, trust, love, all that extra stuff.
All of that.
But yeah, but like respect, love, and all that extra stuff does not mean love. Like I've seen an instance where someone said something like, "Oh, if he loves you, but he cheats, right? As long as he's still coming home, then that means he still loves you." And I'm like, okay.
Derek's whatever his name is right now
Oh
on
God,
Instagram and
I'm
Twitter.
purposely not watching that video, and the reason
Mm,
why is because I'm going to be. I saw like a clip. Oh, you sent it to me.
I sent
It's
it
the
to
one
you.
where
Yeah.
yeah, where the lady. Oh no. Oh yeah, you did that one,
No,
but
no,
then
no.
oh, it was
I sent you the one where the guy was addressing the issue, like holding our hands.
holding her hand. Yeah,
Yeah.
you sent me that one. And I was like, nope, I'm not watching this because I do not want to be upset. Then my sister
Yeah.
sends me the video of the lady talking about how her bonnet is like a helmet of
It's something of
salvation. I said,
Jesus,
girl, I said,
blood of the enemies.
let us be very serious here, okay? Let us actually be really serious here. But it's just is a conditioning thing. Like there's
Yeah.
no way. I know it sounds very abstract, but
Hmm.
it's as simple as this is the way you were brought up. And
Yeah.
if you do not question those things and realize how harmful they are to you
Hmm.
now or in the long run, the effects are really devastating, really.
Yeah.
So I personally think that if you are going to classify a failure of a relationship,
Hmm.
right,
Hmm.
you have to look at, okay, maybe how did I mess up,
Hmm.
right? And going forward, how will I address those issues? That is for you as a person.
Right.
Whether male or female, has
Mhm.
nothing to do with gender, but
Yep.
a woman should not carry the responsibility of a failed relationship or a failed marriage.
Yeah.
If 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 it had nothing to do with her,
Yeah.
and if it had something to do with her, okay, I messed up. Going forward, am I willing to learn and
Learn.
do
Yeah.
better? Really? So
Yeah. I saw something on Twitter a while ago, something about I think the guy left his family and then 23 years later he came back and it was a
that's our normal
testimony.
way now. Oh, oh, that one is normal. That one
And it
I've
was a
seen that one happen in
testimony. And I was
my
like,
family church
so
in Nigeria. That one is normal.
so what I understand is so the lady waited and she kept praying for him to come back.
Uh-huh.
So he went to give the best years literally of his life to someone else. And now she has to take care of you because you're probably about quarter to die or something. Um but yeah, that
Yeah,
I was just like, I don't know what
it's
the
one of those
testimony
things.
is in all of this, but
That's why see, and also the church is also, you know what? Let me know if I start now, it would be as if I'm bashing the church.
yeah.
But in many ways, we as a church, we kind of like um we focus on our interpretation of the scripture
Mm.
is from a human understanding, not spirit filled at all.
Is it human or is it cultural?
That's the thing, because again, in the Nigerian context, right? If you see how we mingle, or there's a mix of religion
Yeah.
and culture that we are not even able to separate and say, okay,
Yeah.
this is religious, this is from a religious standpoint, and this is from a
Hmm.
cultural standpoint.
Hmm.
So many times when people talk with so much confidence
Hmm.
and so much power, quoting the scripture, it's more from a cultural standpoint and
Yeah.
vice versa,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
it's we've and also the scripture too. Honestly, you can see so many instances too, like the letters to the Corinthians or the
So,
Galatians,
yeah.
Philippians, and you see someone quote with so much vim,
Yeah.
and the interpretation is something entirely different, so as to keep a woman. I don't want to
Yeah.
use the word keep a woman oppressed,
Yeah.
but that's what it is in
Yeah.
that context. Again, in that context, that's in the context where the failure of the marriage or relationship is not hers, but she has to bear the brunt just
Yeah.
because. Yeah,
Society.
I don't know. Society, yeah.
Society. Do better. Let's do better.
Do we
So
ever? Are we ever? Is it ever going to be better? I doubt it. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be pessimistic here, but it's the reality.
now I'm going to be the optimistic person here
Okay, go
and say
ahead.
we will do better because I don't trust people, but yeah.
Okay.
So let's talk about failure when it comes to like family relationships or like friendships. We mentioned friendship, but we didn't like go into details.
Mhm.
Friendships, right? People, like you said, people think when the friendship is over, something that means a lot to you, and they come and ask, why are you not got friends with this person? Like trying to explain sometimes why the friendship failed or why it's no longer a thing
Mhm.
can be exhausting. It can be really, literally exhausting. But
Right.
like, yeah, it can just be draining, at least for me.
Um, I remember when someone said that losing a friend is harder than losing a husband, and I totally agree. Okay, that's deep, but
It's
actually,
maybe a
yeah,
little
deep.
extreme,
Because
but
I
it feels
think
like losing a family.
yes, it is.
Yeah.
Because like if you invest the way, like I mean, see the way me and you we rapport, right? Like I take
Yeah.
you as my blood, really.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean, right?
Yeah.
We do if you build that kind of friendship and then you lose it. So if you lose a friend, right?
Mhm.
This is someone that you're. The reality is that you've spent your life with this person. It's the same way
Person,
as
yeah.
spending your life with a romantic partner too, right?
Hmm.
You built a bridge. You've divulged things. Your lives are intertwined in
Yeah.
many ways, right? So obviously it's going to really hurt. And sometimes too, though, like there's so many factors, and the reality is that sometimes really you have to face the reality that you are the person that made your friendship fail.
Yeah. Yeah. And then that's true. Yeah.
In as much as we like to always blame people for stuff, but sometimes really though,
Gotta
you
take
need to take
responsibility.
responsibility.
Yeah.
You have to take
Yeah.
responsibility.
Yeah.
And
That's interesting. Now I'm gonna go ask myself my friendships that ended. Maybe I had any heart to do.
oh no, oh that's me every day.
Oh yeah, that's
See, queen of
that's
queen
more
self.
like you're very
Yeah,
introspective, and
yeah.
that's a very nice thing to have. Me, I'm just
Yeah,
like it's over.
but to a fault though. Sometimes I'll just be thinking about it way too much. Like, okay, you know what? Because you reel yourself in, girl.
Yeah.
Okay, let it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Okay.
family though. Oh, that one is deep.
Let's talk about family. So
No, don't do that. Don't do
I'm
that.
going to get a Grammy. I'm telling you, Grammys on my phone, they will give me. They must still give me.
For what precisely singing or
Writing an
rapping?
original musical score,
Okay, that's
writing
fair.
lyrics for songs,
Okay,
featuring
that's fair.
somebody's song.
Okay, okay, that's fair. That's okay, fair.
Yeah.
Okay, now
So as
family.
I was saying, so family. Another thing like I've seen, at least with myself, is I've tried having relationship with some people that I call family. Like I don't call them family. They are my
I'm
they
done.
are my
Okay.
family. Like by
Mhm,
blood, we're related.
mhm.
Like I try to make these things work, but it just it was a train that wasn't gonna go anywhere. And pulling it with a rope wasn't helping it. And my back began to hurt, and I just had to let those relationships go. Right. In the African context, in a Christian context, right, it says honor your parents so that you may be what
I forgot it because I.
your days may be long.
Yeah, your days will be long. I think something
Yeah,
like
so when
yeah.
your days may be long, yo.
Mhm.
And then it's that the in the Nigerian sense and the very cultural part of it, which says, oh, you have to honor your parents, you have to take care of your parents when they're older. And then like sometimes these parents literally are the thing, like the only problem, the only issue in your life you're recovering from as an
Right.
adult. Like this person didn't just bring you to the world, They brought you to this world and they messed you up real good. Like totally. So I was reading something on Instagram and this girl was talking about how her dad used to have sex with her.
Hmm. Okay.
And just like, I mean, she forgave him before he passed on and things like that. But like, imagine somebody else just saying, I forgive you, but I don't want to have a relationship with you. People will come and be like, but he's your father. You know, like, and I mean, we don't even always have to know the full gist, like the entire story. Is I guess what I'm driving at. Like, let people draw their boundaries. Let people be okay with failed relationships and don't guilt trip them into, oh, what is your model? You will never find another one in the market.
Okay.
Okay. Like I know that. But you
Right.
can choose your family just because something has failed. I feel like as Africans, as Nigerians, and like as Christians, sometimes we put the burden on the younger person to always try to make it right.
True. That's absolutely true because they will always say, "What's the something sees child sees one something the child sees from a
What a
tree,
child
the
sees.
elder sees as a it's always an age respect thing, which
Yeah.
is a big big problem in
Yeah.
Nigeria because the elder is never wrong. It's always the child that is right, or it's the child that has to placate the elder.
Yeah,
Always
oh my
ask,
god, that
don't
one
do
I
that.
find
Like,
so annoying. And then
not
they'll tell you to
me.
go and beg. Most times the younger person would then go there again to go and beg, and the guy will
And they
be
will
like,
insult your life. By the time they do you shege, you
I'm
say, ask
like,
yourself, why did I even go to beg in the
honey,
first
drop your
place?
shoulders. You're supposed to be begging me, not the other way around,
Right,
you know?
right.
Yeah.
Right, and honestly speaking, when it has to do with family, though, like you said, drawing boundaries and everything. But
Yeah.
there's sometimes, okay, like for us that we are over here, right, and then
Mhm.
we have family, like our parents that are in Nigeria, right. It's very easy for me to draw boundaries. I don't have to deal with them every
You don't
day.
have to deal with them, yeah.
If I was in Nigeria right now, right, even if I am living in Abuja and my parents live in Port Harcourt, right, it's still very easy for them to, I would say, for lack of a better word, cross certain boundaries. I will have to deal with them every single time.
Why did you say that? I mean, Abuja to Nigeria isn't necessarily like
Abuja
for
to Port Harcourt,
yeah,
like hours flight.
that's Nigeria.
Like,
Yeah, Abuja to Port Harcourt. I mean, it's still like a couple hours and possibly at least by flight, maybe 45 minutes by flight.
yes, fair, but we're still in the same time zone. Here, we're not in the same
Oh
time zone.
yeah.
You can't just call me like at 2 a.m. and tell me, so you cannot call me. You cannot. I'm like, who are you? Like,
My dear,
obviously,
me, I call
that's
my
not gonna
own, though, and my
I'll
own
do
people
that.
not even pick call, but that's
Right, 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 right.
yeah.
No, but I feel like there's still easy access, obviously, with
Mhm.
as you got like technology, but it's just you can't necessarily escape your parents if you're within the same vicinity.
That's true.
Yeah. So in as much as yes, there are boundaries, but there's like certain things that you can deal with
Hmm.
while you guys are in the same space because you are here or because I am here, it shields me from certain things.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
So
That's true.
yeah.
That's true.
Well, when it has to do, like, I mean, I've seen instances. I'm talking about from my extended family, and I'm talking
Hmm.
about like my dad's with his brothers or his sisters. You see that kind of unnecessary, um, because they are
Friction.
your blood. They feel like they can say certain things or act in certain ways, and when you draw the boundary, it means that you're choosing your immediate family over your extended family.
Hmm.
It is, and then for them they will not say that if you're not in if you're not in contact with your actual family, that means you have failed. You have failed, you have done this, you have not worked according to that. Like, that is arrow in the words of Igbo. Arrow, that is an abomination.
Really?
Honestly, yeah, yeah, it's a big. You've not seen this argument before where they always say that, oh, if you marry a woman, oh God, you know when they say if misogyny is misogyny, then Igbo
Yeah.
misogyny is like the icing on the cake.
Really?
Oh, girl.
I didn't know it was
So
that
you
bad.
see instances where, like, you're married to a woman, or they're
Mhm.
married to this one, and they say that the woman is just an addition to the family. She's not your family. It is
Wait,
that
wait.
you're
Hold the
born.
front door.
Yeah.
So wait, the woman that you are marrying is
Mm-hmm.
an addition to your family. She's
Yes.
not your family. They're your family.
They're your family, and then she is the like outsider that comes to
Okay.
join the family. But
So,
again, in the grand scheme of things, like let's say you die. I mean, there's
mhm,
some of those practices that yeah. Why do you see the brothers coming to take the property and then say the woman does not have any clear claim?
Anything.
If you don't have a, you don't have a will, even if you have a will, self, there's a possibility that they'll contest that will and say it's the woman that formed it or forged it. Yeah.
so that means their mom too was never related to their father.
Oh, when you bring up the argument, it's like, why would you bring my mom into this situation? Why would you put me in
Okay,
that? I'm
how
like,
is it
okay,
different?
apply that logic though. Like
How
apply
is it
that
different?
logic to
Oh
it.
my god,
So yeah, no, it's actually it's
that is
ridiculous.
crazy.
So when you set that kind of boundary, they will not say something like, "Oh, this one a woman rapper is the woman that is controlling the house," whereas you're the one saying, "You know what? I'm laying the law and saying, yes, you can visit, yes, you are listening, but you can be respectful. The
Mm-hmm.
moment you step like past that boundary or you cross the line, if I say
You
I
can
don't
be
want to
caught
have
up.
anything to do with you, you can't like you cannot say okay, I'm wrong or anything.
Yeah,
You get so
yeah.
hmm,
Man, that is crazy. I
yeah,
didn't know about all of that. Your
yeah,
mother is an addition. I mean, the wife
yeah.
is an addition.
I know, but when it has to do with like family relations, it's very tricky though.
Yeah.
It's always really tricky, really
Mm-hmm.
tricky. Like with friends, you can easily just say, oh, you know what, forget that, I'm done. But with family, you just cannot just cut them off, right? I mean, you can. Some people I know have.
Yeah.
No shade.
No, don't,
No
bruh.
shade,
There's
but
no
yeah,
shame in this one.
no
Yeah, like
shade.
cut it
Yeah.
off. If it's
So
not
yeah,
healthy, move
yeah,
on.
absolutely. But it's there are instances where they are just, you know what, this is still my family. I just cannot cut them off like that. I'll just so for some people they will just say, you know what, this is my cross. Let me just manage.
Yeah.
Right?
Manage bad relationships.
It's very
Manage failed
possible.
relationships.
It's possible, like you keep them at a distance, but you still have to relate with them.
But then just let them go. Let it go. Let
Yeah.
it go.
You
Let bygones be bygones,
That's
man.
why I said sometimes like it's when there's distance, it's easy for you to cut off.
Yeah. But even when I was long distance,
Oh no, there
you were
you're
still
it's
going.
in fact you're a special breed. Let's not
You
even
were,
go into that.
you were that.
You're a special breed. Let's not go down that lane. If not, who expose ourselves here?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Let's move on.
Let's move
Let's move
on.
on before I get dragged on my
Okay.
own channel.
Yeah. Mhm.
Um, but yeah, what other kind of relationship? Well, what other kind of failure do you want to talk about?
I think the only thing again that which I had we have already discussed was the part like taking responsibility for failures
Yeah.
too. Like in
Mhm.
as much as this we're talking about failures and everything too, examining something
Yeah.
like a relationship or whatever it is, right? Friendship, romantic, whatever, family wise,
Yeah.
examine it and say, okay, in this area,
Hmm.
I should have probably done better this way, right?
Yeah.
And if you know that you have done your best and the person has decided that they just want to be problem, like serious
Yeah.
wahala for you, just chuck it like to the gods and say, you know what, I've done my bits. Bye
Yeah.
bye. And move on. Do you get? But
Yeah.
other than that, responsibility. And I think another thing too, when we even talk about failure in relationships too, oh my god, where we do the thing where we do the barest minimum and you expect the person to pull through for you.
Ah, I mean, if you're my person, why not? No. No, no,
Oh,
no, no, no.
they would just say, okay, please, bye, and just be done and over with. Like,
Yeah.
no, but you can't. You, oh, you know, it's the same way we're talking about failure in relationships, right, or
Hmm.
friendships, where you know you have some people that every single time they're always talking about when people do not stand for you, they are not for you, they are not by your side, blah 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 blah
Yeah.
blah. They're always complaining about someone that is messing.
Someone. Yeah.
Meanwhile, you need to realize that if something is always failing, this is back to the part where
Is
if it's a failure is constant, it's a reoccurring thing,
yeah. Responsibility.
it
Self-check.
means that you need to actually
Yeah.
really ask yourself,
Yeah,
okay,
that's
what
true.
exactly am I missing over here? So yeah, like you said, failures, when it has to do with failures, it's either, honestly speaking, it's meant to really teach you something, or life is really just life.
I feel like when it teaches you something, it's good, right? But when
Mm-hmm.
life is just life, sometimes you don't have where to hang it. You know, you don't have. I mean, you have to deal with it, but
Right.
sometimes you're not equipped to deal with that thing immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully we have the right support system, we have the right people, friends, families to help us
Right.
through those trying times.
But
But
if you give an like, okay, we are talking about, we are coming from a place of privilege, right? We
mhm,
have access to so many things.
mhm,
Like when you talk about failure, like you worked hard for something and it doesn't work as expected. Let's talk about instances where in Nigeria people
mhm,
have done their I'm talking about they've done the best with their education. They
yeah,
were able to. They're coming from not very like impoverished backgrounds, right?
mhm,
They were still able to make it through to school,
mhm.
get good grades or good whatever, good degrees, and then the system is just designed to make you
Let
fail.
them fail.
Is this a lesson? Some people will say it's a lesson for you to japa, but how many people can japa from
Yeah,
Nigeria?
yeah,
Do you get like
yeah.
you? Not even one third can really japa from Nigeria.
Yeah,
So
which I saw something a while ago. An agricultural graduate, first class graduate student from University of I think it was Adoekiti or Abeokuta. When he graduated, top of his class, they gave him cow and they gave him yam, a tuber of yam and
mhm.
live chicken.
What I would do for a tuber of yam right now, though, but let's move on. Let's focus on what
Are
really
you
matters.
mad? Yeah, and live chicken.
Right,
And I'm just
right.
like, so this is where it started poultry with
Mm.
one chicken and one tuber of yam.
It
Like
can,
it
yeah,
was
it
just
can.
like,
Chicken
how
can
did
give you
you?
eggs, and then gradually you get your poultry from. Listen, let me tell you, the way we even think in Nigeria is different. So let's not
It's
even go. So it's
like
already
it's so
designed to get you to
backwards
fail,
sometimes.
right? So in that case, is this life teaching you a lesson and then you have to learn, apply? No.
I don't
In that
think so.
instance, no. Everything is already designed for you to fail.
Yeah.
So then what happens? And if you don't have an escape route, then what else?
Then what?
So sometimes it's just not, oh, I'm designed to learn this and then move on. Sometimes it's just that factors, external factors have made it possible for that you will not just move past a certain point.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. I guess find a lesson, find joy in your failure, or just
If
take
I
the
cannot
L
eat,
and keep
there's no way I'm
moving.
finding joy in my failure.
I mean, after I
If I cannot eat,
what you say?
if I cannot eat, if I
No,
can
no,
never
no.
find food
I
to
didn't
eat.
say like during while you're feeling your
Oh,
feelings in the failure.
okay.
After, like I said, you either find joy like after or take your L and move on. Or learn a lesson if there is one
If
embedded
there's one to
somewhere.
be learned, yeah. If not,
Oh, embedded
like I
in.
always say, what's next, really?
Yeah, not everybody has that. What? Not
What
everybody has
next
that.
for
What
me? Like
next?
I said,
Yeah,
yeah, for me, obviously
yeah,
that's for me, right? What
yeah,
next is it for me? Some other people, I don't know.
yeah.
I don't want
I
to
don't
even start
know.
thinking about that's just the deeper part, but like, what next, really?
Well, what next? This episode has ended, and you are getting
Yeah,
off my show.
yeah.
And this concludes this episode. This very, very impromptu episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned a thing or two. Let me know if you loved this episode and if you want something more like this. For sure, let me know in the comment section below. Follow us on social media at Sense&Rants on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Until next time, you already know it. Whatever it is you want to do, whoever it is you want to become, all you have to do is start.